Hey Sycamore Art Stars, it's good to see you guys. This is Mrs. Eldridge. I've got an art lesson for you guys today. I thought you might want something a little creative to do along with your regular schoolwork. All right, so one of the things that we don't get to talk about a whole lot when we have art class is color. And one of the things that I really have wanted to talk to you guys about this year was what colors make what. Now, for example, some of you may know that red and yellow make orange, or that blue and yellow make green. But we're going to learn exactly what those types of colors are called. And it starts with a thing called a color wheel. This is an example. It's a really fancy color wheel. A lot of people out in the real world use this tool. They find out what colors look good with what. I got this color wheel from a class I took in college for flower arranging. Now, why in the world would I need to know what colors look good for flowers and flower arrangements? Well, there's nothing worse than getting a bunch of beautiful flowers that just don't look good together. So what we would use is we would look and see which colors look good together. Like reds and purples look good, and these different shades here, blues and greens. So what we would do is we would look at the color wheel to see what looks good together. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we are going to make our very own color wheel, and we're going to learn what colors, when you mix them together, make what. Now, what I've attached on your Google Classroom is an empty color wheel sheet, and you can have your mom or dad print one of these out for you. If you don't have a printer, you can go ahead and get a plain piece of paper. You can use notebook paper, whatever you need. And you need to get a blue crayon, a yellow crayon, and a red crayon. That's all that you need for this particular exercise. Okay, so let's look at our color wheel. We're going to talk about the primary colors. These are the three basic colors that every other color is made out of. The first one we're going to talk about is red. Now, those of you who remember from class, red is a what kind of color? It's a warm color. That's right. Red is a warm color. It's also a primary color. So what you're going to do is with your red crayon, you're going to color in this red piece of the pie right here, okay? And I will let you scribble scrabble. All right, so red is a primary color. But we're going to use it to make two other colors by the time we're finished with this, okay? Our next primary color is blue. Blue is used as a what kind of color? It's cool color, that's right. Blue is a cool color. We talked about that in class. We're going to color that. It's one of the three primary colors, red and blue. And then we're going to add the final one, yellow. Yellow is a warm color, and it is our final, primary color. Primary color number 3. I'm going to color that in right there. Now, as I'm doing this, it kind of looks like a beach ball. That's what it looks like to me when I'm doing this with these three primary colors. And this summer, when you're at the beach or the pool or wherever, if you see a beach ball, I bet it'll look similar and use the primary colors. Remember, red, blue, and yellow. These are the primary colors. All right, now let's take this a step further. We're going to talk about secondary colors. This is what happens. These colors are when you make a primary color and a primary color together, what happens, okay? So let's start with red and yellow. Okay, so I have yellow, I've got red. What happens when I mix these two together? Or on this case, we're going to color over another. I'm going to take the yellow, color this piece of the pie right next to the red. Okay. Then I'm going to take my red crayon and go over it again. Just this piece right here. Now, what color do you start to see here? It's orange. It's not the brightest orange, but you're starting to see the orange tint that's coming through, okay? This is a secondary color. It's not one of the three main colors, it's a secondary color. Not primary, but it's secondary. All right, so if red and yellow make orange, what's gonna happen when I take red and blue? I've got red in my hand. I'm gonna go ahead and color this top piece of the pie red. And like I said, I'm not being super careful with this. Trying to stay in the outside lines up here, but on the inside, because we're gonna blend them, it doesn't matter so much. Now I'm gonna grab my blue crayon. What color do you start to see come out? Why, it's purple. Red and blue, when you mix them together, make purple. Okay, there's purple. Now, let's do our last one. We have blue, primary color, yellow, primary color. What happens when I mix those two together? Well, I've got blue in my hand, so I'm gonna go ahead and color this blue. And I'm gonna grab the yellow and go over it with the yellow. And what do you see? Why, it's green. Now, for some reason, this one always jumps out of my head. When I was a kid, you guys know what Ziploc bags are? You know, you press and seal at the top. They came out with a brand new type of Ziploc bag. One side of the bag was blue, the other side was yellow. And when you pressed it and it sealed, the seal turned green. And so they had a little girl on the ad that said, yellow and blue make green. So a lot of your parents and grandparents kind of remember that ad. So this one is always easy for me to remember, that yellow and blue meant green. All right, so these are the colors in our color wheel. This is, like I said, a very basic color wheel. Now, we use crayons with this. What happens when we use paint in class? Okay, so you're painting a picture, and let's say when you look at your palette, you only have those three colors. Well, now, because you know what primary colors are and what secondary colors are, you know what colors to mix. And that's what a color wheel is.